saw this article and thought would be kind of interesting to talk about. So the Sega Dreamcast, when it came out in Japan, they had these special commercials with this Yukawa guy on there, and they were actually quite famous. You can look them up. I'll put a link to one in the description. They were uh, they they thought that campaign would try to like push more units sold, and it ended up failing. And then Dreamcast ended up ending production, and then Sega got out of making consoles. So, which is sad because the Dreamcast had it had what is it? There was hope for the system, and that what they didn't catch on to that Sony did, and to the detriment of Sega and other people, and actually to the gaming world as a whole right now, is they didn't see DVD as a uh, uh, viable media for gaming, which is where Sony jumped on that, and DVD became the standard because of the fact that the PlayStation 2 was a very cheap DVD player for the time. And that's a thing that, modern consoles don't have anything that, can, do something similar. Like the Sega Saturn was popular in Japan because it was the first CD system there before. Well, I mean, there was the Mega Drive CD, but like that was an attachment, and that didn't really work. And the Saturn kind of pushed it, and they managed to beat Sony out of the gate, and Sony didn't have a whole lot to go with it until much later when they got like more popular franchises to jump on their console. Well, the guy who was in those Dreamcast commercials, he actually died. So this is actually kind of a sad thing. I'm not gonna really go through the article because they just talk about like Akimoto Yasushi, who's the guy who produced freaking what is it? AKB48 and all those 48 groups like SK48 and was it NGT48 and all these other garbage idol groups. They're just trying to promote him in an article about the Dreamcast commercial guy dying, right? It's really really stupid. And then they're trying to like Takizawa Hideaki is a male idol who was with Johnny's. I don't know if he's with Johnny's anymore. I don't even care because idols suck. Um, but they're just trying to promote oh, this person was in the video, this person did a CD for this or did music for this or blah blah blah. They're not talking about the fact that the the guy in the commercial actually died. So what is it? The commercial started in 1998. Let's see. So let's see. So here they're just talking. Well, so we'll skip over this stuff. They're talking about uh, like them talking about stupid Akimoto and these people. I want to talk about this the stuff more like about how he like what he's been doing before the end of his life. So, 湯川市豪邸は豊かな自然に包まれた場所にあり、鳥のさえずりが聞こえてくる。So his, I guess they say mansion, but I don't even know that was a mansion. It was surrounded by beautiful nature, and you could hear the birds chirping and stuff.10年ほど前、近くから引っ越してきて、この屋敷を建てたんです。湯川さんはシア通りの感じのいい人で、たまに立ち話もしました。うちで食事でも一緒にいかがですかと声かけていただいたこともあったんですが、恐れ多くて、よく散歩をしてましたが、そういえば3年ぐらい前から見えなくなりましたね。So this is somebody who lives near where he was living. And he moved there around 14 years ago. And he built that house there. And he was just like, in the commercials, he was a really nice person. And the person would sometimes stand out and talk to them. And then he'd also invite this person to have meals with them. And he was also, he would go on walks around there. And then around 3 years ago, he kind of disappeared. They stopped seeing him around. やはり体調を崩したままなのだろうか。その後事情を知ってる人もいた。So he must have like fallen ill or something. And then after there are people who knew the situation after that. 実は湯川さんは去年亡くなりました。遺産は相次ぐも終わってます。So there's another person that lived nearby said that he died last year and that they've already taken care of his estate. 自宅を訪ねると湯川さんの妻が対応してくれたが、詳しいことを改めて連絡すると湯川さんの部下だったという人から電話があった。So this one his wife would answer the door when people would go to the house, and she said she would get back to them about the details. And then after that, it was one of his subordinates called them. And then 確かに去年の6月、この病気なんだ。Well, it's a kind of pneumonia, because it's high end, so it's pneumonia. で、亡くなりました。この数年が体調よろしくなかったものですから、ご家族は覚悟してたと思います。So around last year in June he died of a type of pneumonia, and I will check this right now because I'm curious what type of pneumonia this is. Let's see, what do they have the English for this? Of course not, because I hate using Yahoo Japan for this, but I want to know. It says aspiration pneumonia. It doesn't make any sense. Oh well, whatever that is. And the family was, so it was a type of pneumonia, and the past few years he hasn't been in good health, and his family had been prepared for it. And then, なぜ発表しなかった? Why didn't they announce it? Then CSK にも連絡してないんです。お世話になった方には去年末を連絡しましたが、静かに送りたいっていう家族の一個だったので。So, CSK is like the Sega people, I guess. And they didn't even tell them about him dying. The people who had been around him and stuff like that, they contacted them, but they just wanted to let him go peacefully. So that was the wishes of the family. Okay. Then CM 戦後湯川さんはどんな仕事を? So after those Dreamcast commercials, what kind of 仕事 was he doing? 定年まで CSK グループにいて Cool カードが最後ですね。So there's this cool card that it's like one of those stupid point card things, and that was the last job he did with the CSK group. その後私が独立して作った会社に会長として来ていただきました。5年前に体調崩されてからはご自宅でゆっくりとされてたようです。So after that, after the cool card with CSK Group, um, this person, whoever they're talking to, uh, had his own company, created his own independent company, and had him as like the top, had him come there as like the top person there. Then around 5 years ago, he wasn't feeling well, and then after that he just stayed at home, just taking care of himself. And then 今は天国でセガの Dreamcast を楽しんでるだろうか。So is he in heaven enjoying the Sega Dreamcast now? This is why I hate fake news. They just add stupid stuff to like that. This is from the news this morning, actually, just a couple hours ago. So I wanted to talk about this because a lot of people don't realize how popular this commercial was. I wasn't in Japan when the Dreamcast was like airing these commercials and things the first time I came here. So the stuff I know about this is stuff that I've like looked into on my own, and kind of studied a little bit about the gaming industry that in Japan that before I knew what was going on about it. So that's why I kind of know about this, but I don't personally know like how exactly popular it was. I just know that it was like really really popular, and these commercials were pretty popular at the time. It's too bad because they really put a lot of effort in trying to sell the Dreamcast by doing this, but it didn't work. So even though the commercials were very popular, it didn't translate to console sales, so the Dreamcast kind of just petered out and died. Although I will say there are some really good games on the Dreamcast that get ignored because it was a Dreamcast. Like Macross M3 or like SNK versus Capcom. It was the only console to have Marvel versus Capcom 1 as on the home consoles. So it was either Dreamcast or the arcade only, and I really liked the original Marvel vs. Capcom. I used to play it in the arcade all the time, so it's kind of it was kind of sad because I always wanted to play that on home console, and when I got a PlayStation 2, I was kind of hoping they would release it, and they never did. They only released the second one, so like, Then I didn't find out till later that the Dreamcast was the only console that got it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to buy a Dreamcast. Now I kind of do, but just because I want to play Macross M3, but but I heard the controls are really bad, so I'm not sure if I really want to do that. Maybe I'll find an emulator or something. But yeah, I just thought I'd talk about the fact that he passed away last year, and he was a very popular person because of the Sega Dreamcast commercials. So anyway, just something a little different, and I'll see you in the next video.